So here's the first one. It's from Warren in Albany. You describe yourself as a conservative Republican, but you gave $1,000 to Chuck Schumer last June and $4,600 to Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign. How could you support them?
I am a conservative Republican, and I'm a person that historically has felt that leadership in a community should be giving donations to help support good government. However, like everybody else, I get disappointed. In the case of Schumer, yes, Mr. Schumer came here. He asked me, he said, what can I do to help Western New York? And I said, you could do something about these ridiculous airfares that we have from Buffalo to Albany to New York to Pittsburgh, paying $600-700 a ride on the planes because there's no competition. U.S. Air has a monopoly. And he says, I will do something. And you know what he did? He did. He went out and he got JetBlue and Southwest to start running planes from upstate cities, okay, and he forced those rates down to the benefit of all the constituents of the state. And in that respect, I gave him a donation, and I thought he was right. But then when he went off the track, when his arrogance and his ego got a hold of him on this Obamacare thing, I lost my respect for him.
Yeah, and I think
I'm a person that judges the individual. I do not judge the party label because I think the parties, okay, have done the two-party or four-party system that we have has done a tremendous injustice to the people over the years. I don't feel that this year people are looking at party labels. I think that what they're looking at is they're looking at a ruling class versus the people, and that ruling class has to go. It's time to take them all down. And Mike Long and all his relatives and friends on the public payroll, he's no longer the conservative leader. He's no longer the conservative philosopher. He picked a liberal Republican, okay, without core values to be the gubernatorial candidate, a guy who doesn't have the intestinal fortitude to change the status quo. And Ed Cox, same thing. He tried to deny us. He went along with Lazio for the same reasons. Why? Because they don't want to win. Lazio's like a guy that sits on the bench and you pull him off whenever you want the other guy to win, and that's what they did here. They pulled Lazio off the bench to run against Cuomo. Nobody's got any faith that Lazio could even begin to beat Cuomo. They want Cuomo because they don't want to change the status quo. They want Sheldon Silver and John Sampson to continue running this state as they have, and that's not to the liking of the people. We want to take them all out. They're all going to go. We're going to shine a light on them. Transparency, totally transparent government. That's our baseball bat. We're going to take the people with us to Albany.
Okay. Now, I got a second question here from Al from Gloversville. It says, Mr. Paladino, a few years back, a billionaire from Buffalo put together an elaborate third-party apparatus with the promise of grassroots involvement and reform of our entire political structure. The reality was that Tom Golisano wanted to use the political system to increase his paychecks business, and after 2 campaigns, he abandoned the people who supported him. How might you be different from Mr. Golisano?
You know, I don't think that person is correct in saying that about Tom Golisano. Tom Golisano had no other motivation in running than to do the right thing for the people of the state of New York. He had already made his billions, okay? He didn't need any money. He didn't need any power. He was all about doing the right thing. Yes, I consulted with Tom just before I decided to run. And Tom advised me, he says, Carl, you'll never do it just on an independent line. You have to take the Republican line. And that's what I'm doing. I'm going to have the Republican line, and right now we're petitioning. I'm going to win the Republican line from Lazio on September 14th. And right now we're petitioning our third line, our independent line called the taxpayer line, for all those disaffected Democrats and independents and conservatives to go to. But that's not the truth. That Mr. Golisano is an absolutely well-intended human being. He wanted to change the structure of this government just like I want to change it, and I have nothing but good things to say about him. And he's my friend. All
right. You know, last week we had a little mix-up, and you weren't able to appear on the program, so I was forced to suspend you. But then I lifted the suspension, and you're on the program this morning.
Thank you, Rick. I'll come on your program whenever you want me to.
Excellent. You know, The thing is, I've got to get you to get on the air and tell us what you really think. Seems like you're masking your opinions there a little.
No, I don't mask anything.
You know,
what you see is what you get with me. You know that.
When I'm reading about you in the newspaper, it's kind of fun because the description is that you're a political novice and outspoken, and you're not politically correct. And you know what? That ain't a bad thing. I appreciate your candor.
People use that political correctness to hide, and I don't hide. I don't hide from anything.
Well, you sure have it today.
I'm well equipped to do the people's work in Albany, and I'm only going to serve for 4 years. So I'm going to be tired after that. I know it. I'm the type that works 15-hour days, and we're going to restructure this government. We're going to take out the political class, and then we're going to hand it over to a good successor who will carry on the good work.
Are you putting in place the infrastructure for a third party that will last beyond your 4-year term?
I'm not interested in forming a third party. I'm forming an independent line right now. I don't think the movement people at this early stage of their existence, I don't think their intent is to want to be a party. I think we have enough parties. The idea here is that people need a place to go to vote in this coming election, the independent thinking people, and they want to make a statement, and that's what the taxpayers line is for. They don't want leadership out there making statements. Okay, the press, as you can see, is just waiting to pounce on any extremist who holds himself out as a leader, and the press is waiting there because they want to destroy the movement. That's where they get off, and I agree with people in the movement. I mean, I'm a member of the movement. I don't feel that it's appropriate that the movement evolve into a party. I think it just stay as a movement, and as
we
such.
Sure appreciate your activities and your candor. We've got to go because I'm up against a hard break. Thanks so much for coming by, and we will get you back on again.
Thanks, Rick.
Yep. Bye-bye now. Thank you.